So today marks a big day. We are building a massive ecosystem in this tank. As many of you know and seen the previous videos, the reason I broke down that tank is because the fish have got camellianus. Well, they might have camellianus worms. I know that one of them did, and I didn't want to risk the whole tank being wiped out. So we've got all of our bigger fish in this tank. They're doing well. They're getting a round of treatment today. And we're going to keep them in there bare bottom so we can siphon up any worms that come out, because it only paralyzes them, it doesn't kill them. And this way you can just monitor it all until there's nothing left. And then a few of the keyhole cichlids, a couple of bigger fish, then all the smaller fish are in here. So I didn't want to put them all in one tank, it'd be quite stressful for them all. There's no sort of decoration or anything to hide behind. And that is for good reason, because I need to better see what's on the substrate. So yeah, it's not been an ideal situation. It's not been fun at all breaking down tanks super fast, but it was necessary. But now it has meant that we can create something absolutely amazing in the 8 foot. So this is going to be a full detail build of how I create ecosystem tanks, because over the years, this is my favorite thing to do, by the way, but over the years, I've been refining it and refining it and refining it. And I've got to a point now, not where it's perfect, because it's never perfect, there's always evolving ideas, but I've got to a point where it works so well. And my recent home tank is the one that's made me, decide to do it again on an even larger scale. That was the biggest one I've done, and now this will be the biggest one that I've done. One of those. So although this tank does need a trim, it's just a bit of limnophilia, it grows like a complete weed, but it's actually good for the water. This is one of my ecosystem tanks that I've now set up. It's approaching a year and it never gets water changes. I'm not saying you don't need to do water changes. I'm saying if it doesn't need a water change, then don't do a water change. But there are instances where you do need to do that. But this is running absolutely perfectly, very mature, and it's a really good example of what can be done when you set the tank up in the correct way. We've got the lighting dialed in to the right level. We've got really good nutrients in the substrate system. We've got the right level of fish. We've got the right level of plants. And it just all sort of goes in that perfect circle. And yeah, there's even breeding going on. We've got black mollies in here. We've got several generations and it works so well. There's a baby over here. And the good thing about this system that I'm putting in place is that it's scalable. You can do it for a nano, you can do it for a medium-sized tank, you can do it for a massive 8 foot. 6 foot is 5 foot, my home tank, is the one that I've done at the biggest so far, and it's probably one of the easiest tanks I've ever set up. I just don't even touch it nowadays. It grows like crazy, looks after itself, and that's exactly what I'm gonna create in this tank now for those amazing fish. They're my fish that I've had for a long time. I've grown them up for babies, and I want to create a great environment for them. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, you've missed an opportunity to do these certain fish in this size tank. These are my pets, this is my tank, and I want them in here. So what I need to do now is use the Denelay substrate. This stuff is absolutely brilliant. It's basically soil, like proper, enriched, amazing, fine soil that you can mix in with anything. It's been a game changer. I actually used to use this stuff pretty much when I started because I couldn't afford a big bag of aqua soil, but I could get some gravel and some sand from anywhere and mix this into it. And it worked so well, I just sort of stopped using it once I could get some aqua soil and things like that. And to be honest, I like this way better. I think it works better, and it means you can cap it down, no horrible little round balls everywhere. I think it's great, but I do want to mix it with some fresh substrate because I don't want to use any of the other stuff. And I haven't got any, but the perfect thing to use is a nice pea gravel. We're talking about like this grain size. We can get that nice and cheaply, we can get it in bulk, and we can use it to build up areas that are enriched with this. But I need to go get it. So that's good. We can have a look at what's there and what would be suitable, because it's the sort of thing you guys will be doing at home, I guess. Yeah, let's go. And we're going in the snot rocket. Oh, it's alive! Well, it's been a while, but we are on the road again. I can't wait to get...
Don't think this is where they sell the pea shingle.
Yeah, you have to go through here.
There's a lot of chocolate. Hello.
I say we go for a full carpet.
Oh,
This
lovely.
aquarium. What is this? Oh, it's a little cleaner.
Wow.
Right, so why we actually are here, see, they've got a good selection.
Loads.
No, 2 course. So this, you wouldn't pick something like this. It's 2 course, it's milky, it's going to break down, and it's going to be awful.
Wow, you really don't like that stuff.
No. So I try and avoid anything white that looks like that, because it's just leaking stuff into the water column. It's going to change parameters. Too big, but would be probably suitable, but it's too big. Again, 2 course. It might be that that might be the only option.
This is smaller.
It is smaller. I want it still smaller because otherwise all of the soil is just going to sort of fall through it.
Hold on, here we go. This feels good.
Yeah, this is it. There we go. Pea gravel. That's pretty much ideal. I would like it a little bit less if I could, but this is all we're going to have, I think.
That's 10 mil pea gravel.
Yeah.
That's 20 mil pea gravel.
This is ballast sand. Yeah, that's the one.
This is a lovely thing.
Oh. Oh, this is all bulk stuff. Okay, this is a perfect example. I would go with that if they had that.
Golden flint chippings.
Golden flint chippings.
Golden flint chippings.
Well, they're not here. Why are you... Look at what you could have had if you went to a different shop.
If you go to Pebblesmiths, they might be able to help you.
I'm not waiting for deliveries.
Thanks, guys. If this is the stuff, why don't you just take this?
Yeah, that's ours.
That's enough. That's enough for the 8 foot, isn't it?
You're teething. You're teething it.
No, pay for it, obviously. We'd like this, please.
Actually, that is even better. But that is 10 mil.
That's 10 mil pea gravel. That's exactly what we're looking at.
To be fair, yeah, that is. It's got a mixture. Oh, it's not just 10 mil. It's 10 mil and
10
below.
mil max. Yeah.
Oh, is he doing it?
Yeah, he's here. Yeah, Max has joined us. It's here.
Yeah, I know. We need a trolley.
We just need 2 bags, don't we?
8 foot. If you think about 8 foot, if we line those out.
I'm thinking about it.
2, 3, 4.
You get a trolley and I'll wait here.
I think we need 4.
Yeah, I think it's better to have too much, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll use it on other projects.
Other projects?
Yeah.
All right.
Trolley!
He's here.
That was quite smooth,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, also, what's quite funny is when you were walking away, I realised you were wearing, well, we were both still wearing our Crocs.
Yeah.
Because we left
Because there's
in
no
such
wives.
a hurry.
If my wife's with me, she's like, "You're not wearing Crocs out," and I'm like,
Not to the rockery section of the shop where you buy rockery things. You are not wearing Crocs to the rockery.
"Yes." Right, we've got our gravel, but we definitely need to wash it. Well, I say definitely. I mean, that stuff that's in there might actually be nutrient rich. It might be quite good, but
You need scissors.
I do.
Whoa. Don't throw scissors, kids. Oh, the entire bag. No messing around.
Yeah, it should clean pretty quick,
Okay.
he says now.
All that entertainment, do you? There's the gravel washing channel.
There we go. We definitely do not want that in the or maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe I'm being over cautious because of the camellianus.
I don't think there'll be camellanuses in here.
No, but like, you know, stuff. I don't really know if I need to do this, to be fair. I mean, I'm covering all of the gravel in actual soil and
And you're capping it, right?
I'm capping it all. So
Yeah, this is
it
pointless.
seems like a pointless exercise. Going to wash it so I can get it dirty again. No, I'm not. It's fine. It'll be way dirtier than that with the soil on it, wouldn't it?
I'd have thought so, yeah. Well, we'll find out, won't we? Could be the best decision or the worst decision of our lives.
Yeah, I could be just washing away good nutrients.
Yeah. Or bad nutrients.
Don't.
Just don't.
Who knows?
So we're ready to mix the substrate together with the gravel. So if you come on over here, Steph, I can show you the constituents, the
Components?
of the, so this is the gravel, it's quite coarse, and then this is the soil. Now what I like to do is a 50-50 mix. So what I'll do is fill the bucket up halfway with the gravel, then halfway with the soil, mix it all together, put that all in, and then keep going as much as I need.
So how come you mix gravel and soil together and don't just put like a big layer of the soil?
So the soil, once it gets wet, will just become like solid. You know what I mean? Like compact itself and just be like this solid gloop. I find that if I mix it together with the gravel, there's still a way of water sort of traversing through it. Like it's not going through fast, don't get me wrong, but everything in your aquarium, any of the substrate, the water's still flowing through it. This helps with like just stopping it become completely stagnant and gross. I don't know the exact science behind it. All I know is that whenever I do it this way, it seems to work a lot better than if I just sprinkled this in on the base.
And it must help with roots as well.
I think so.
Make it easier for roots to get in.
They can find
the nooks
gaps
and crannies
between all of that versus just a. I think it would be okay either way, but that's got to be better. And plus size and bulk, it just creates a bigger area, but also you're going to get it to go further as well, so that's another benefit. I don't think it needs to be as condensed as this much in that small area, unless maybe you've got like a really shallow tank, then it might be fine just to do that. But because we're putting so much in, a lot of plants, you know, you want to spread it about, allow the roots to travel all through it, I think.
And you know this method works.
I know this works. Just do this. Just do this. Yeah, so like this, remember this is a nutrient layer. We don't really need huge amounts of height and everything like that. It'll all be capped. This is where the roots work their way down into, so it's not really for sort of shape or anything. I will sort of slightly shape it because it completely flat will look a bit rubbish. But I'd say we need about 4 buckets worth of that.
So how thick a layer are you looking at on the bottom then?
Couple of inches or so.
Oh really?
Yeah, because we're only going a little bit above that as well.
All together or just for this base? Like...
Just the base, a couple of inches.
Okay.
And then I'll sort of go 3 inches or so above that as well, the sand capping. And when I say 2 inches, I mean right at the deepest points. So like the back area will be a little bit thicker, then it'll sort of taper off in the foreground as well. So otherwise, yeah, that'd be loads. So there's absolutely tons of nutrients there already, but if I put in specific species that I know are going to use a ton more, like Echinodorus, for example, it's got big root systems, they get huge. I'll put in root tabs and things in those sections as well. Not sure where that's going to be yet, so I'll save that till they're actually, you know, planted in. And the reason I've gone for like nutrients everywhere is because in this tank, I'm going like proper jungle. Like I want every species. Just to order every species and get it all growing really, really cool. The more plants in the tank like this, the better, because they look after the water for you. Not completely, still got to remain vigilant and everything, but yeah, the more growth you're getting and things like that helps with algae, helps with using nitrates and ammonia if there's any spikes, for instance, for whatever reason. I don't really get that ever anymore, to be honest, just because the amount of plants in most of the tanks. But it can happen, so you've got to have a test kit and things like that as well. But this is already shaping up to be immense. So many nutrients there. It's going to be brilliant though. That all needs locking down now though. For that you need a sand.
And this is the keystone to like a successful planted tank.
Without this, I don't think you get success. For me, I'm not saying this is the way. Nothing I ever tell you guys is like the way. It's just the way I do it. I'm sure there's other ways that are brilliant as well. I mean, you've only got to look at the ADA tanks, for example, to know that their way is blinking brilliant as well. And they use a lot of aqua soil, and they basically use a power sand on it. I'm effectively making their power sand like a homemade, much cheaper version in bulk. So yeah, I like sand capping. I don't really like aqua soil. I don't think it looks that nice. You know, I like the look of this with sand on the top. You don't see aqua soil in rivers. So that's my thinking. And you don't see this many plants really either. You can do. Quite often it's a lot of the same species, but we don't need to do that because it's not a river. It's a display tank.
Let's get capping.
Cut the cap. I'll put a cap in your... So this is all of the sand that we took out of the last tank, and we've got another one as well actually, and there's 2 outside.
There, yeah, I mean there was a lot.
And you know, the idea, the thought is I'll clean it all up and use it again. I mean, I don't want to take that risk. As I've said, it's going to cost too much. So I found some new sand. Now, I was going to use some stuff in storage. I didn't even want to risk that, so I've bought new. So I've got this sand here, which is not like play sand, so it's not super fine. It's not coarse either. It's enough to cap. It's got these other nice little flecks and stuff in it as well. Giving it a little bit of realism. So the colour is slightly more yellow than I would usually use, but I did notice the previous sand in this tank under this lighting looked quite white. So I'm thinking with the bright lights, the more yellowy tone, it will sort of meet somewhere in the middle. I think that'll look nice and authentic. You're not going to see a lot of it anyway, because plants. Now, I haven't washed this sand. To my eye, it looks blinking clean anyway, but I'm not that worried. If there's a little bit of like fine particles in it, let them get in the water column, we fill it up, and I'll just remove them afterwards. I'll just stick a little internal filter on, some filter floss, use some AquaClear. I think that's a way better use of time, like than standing there washing 6 massive bags of this. So what I always like to do when I'm capping with sand, start right at the front, and then don't hit the glass like I just did, and then work your way back and start building up the height. I won't be keeping it this high, but it's good to get the pile in first, and then you can smooth out after. So what you saw me doing there in the time lapse, sort of leveling it roughly with my hands, and what I like to do is use my fingertips like a rake and just flick it across, and any lumps sort of flick out, and yeah, just sort of kind of evenly just distributes it. I'm not too worried. The water itself and the movement, the fish and everything, it will level itself over time, but if I give it a good spray now, it'll sort of bed it down flat. It's actually made the colour way better as well. And also, we're now seeing all those different little highlight stones and things in it, which is the main reason I picked it. It looks like a proper riverbed. Substrate in, looks so good. It's been a day since we put it in and it's all sort of dried off. Looks fantastic, but now it's time for the hardscape, which I'm not going crazy on this at all. I want a ton of planting room, ecosystem tank, predominantly plants with a few feature areas. Got a couple of ideas in mind. I just want to try one first. Triangular composition, triangle here, and steeper triangle here, but in the middle of the actual, you know, floor, base, the middle area basically. There's planting behind and in front then. Loads of room for plants basically. That's what I want to do. So it's going to get some pieces in and see how it looks. I think we can let everyone ignore these dead plants up here. I've left them for a reason. Every time Kate has taken them down, but whenever I want cool botanicals, I've got them.
Just like that.
See? And they're quite arty, aren't they? No, they're just horrible. But they, like I say, these look great when you're doing like a botanical style tank. And I know that if I take them down and put them in something, I'll lose it, that'll be gone. This piece I want.
Oh.
It's going to be a twig left in a minute. Look at how good that bit is for like a pleco house.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be tons of breeding in there. And then the other pieces are over here. This long one, because I want like elongated shapes. There we go. That's a nice one for sure. Oh, more hidey holes.
Another pleco hole.
Yeah. I've
Lovely.
not actually used this one either. I've got a nice long piece here, but it's kind of, there's no prongy bits on it. It's quite sort of straight. It might work. This bit's cool. Very chunky. Oh yeah, there we go. I forgot this bit was here. This could work really well.
Hidden behind all the plants.
And it kind of looks like a sword of some description.
Whoa. You mad.
Well, good colour match. Not that it matched too much. You've kind of got two sections there already, potentially propped up in some areas. I'm going to get those in first of all and then can build around it maybe. Yeah, that looks a bit funky at the moment, but we need to raise certain areas so it keeps it in sort of line. But again, I'm not going to overthink that too much because I quite like it. It's just simple, super, super simple. The plants themselves are going to behave like hardscape in this tank because I'm going to plant them in certain sections as well. So, like I say, I want a couple of bits of feature wood, but predominantly it's just going to be this curtain of amazing colour and just healthiness and vibrancy. It's hard to envisage that sort of thing at this stage, I know that, but trust me, have a little bit of faith. So we've got a load of different rocks here. A couple of these came out of the tank, but they've already been cleaned and like there's nothing on them. They've had boiling water on them and everything like that. So happy to put those in. I mean, they're super smooth, so it's easy to clean. So they're all good. I just need a couple of big ones to bring some height up on certain areas of the wood. That's a good size. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's got 1 and 2 mid-ground area full of plants, a couple of nicer pebbles here and just over there. And then just kit it all out with like some nice gravels, tons of like intricate foreground plants as well. That's gonna look so good. Like I say, very, very basic and simple. I'm not trying to break any hardscape competitions here. But the whole idea, like this one I've raised up, kind of looks like it's floating. Well, that's because in front of it is gonna be stems, mid-ground stems, you know? So by the time they've grown and look luscious and great, you'll still see the wood then. If I laid it completely flat, by the time they've grown, you're just going to see that little stick poking up. So I'm doing it this way. It's also a good platform for any epiphytes as well. So I think they call it a nurse log, like in the forest. If a piece of wood has fallen on the ground, all the other plants and mosses and things take over on it. And that's kind of what I want to make these little islands, if you like. But look at how much planting room we've still got everywhere. Also, kind of minimized shaded areas. So we've got this main section under here that's got a shade, and a main section here that's got a shade, but there's still a decent amount of ambient light in them. So I can plant whatever I want really. Like any plants that are used to a lot of light will still grow, just not as vibrantly. But we can use like crypts and things in there. We can also cover up the gap if we want with some Anubias on rocks, if we want to, you know, so there's a bit of raised height to those in front of all the other plants. So there's options, but there isn't that many shaded areas. It's all about these 3 nice big powerful lights hitting it, which I should probably talk about. So these lights are like, I guess they're a Kessel knockoff, an Amazon Kessel, if you like. They're about £100 each. They've got remotes on them if you want to do all of that. I like the buttons, but you can put them to so that they're more of a bluer tone if you want. You can make them more yellowy if you want. You can increase the height of power up and down. And they've just always worked so well for me. They grow any plants or stick under them. Like my home tank has got them as well, even though they're suspended, and the plants in there look so, so good. So I know that they are proven really good. I'll leave a link if you're interested. There's a decent amount of height to the base, But as you can see, it's still lighting everything up beautifully. I did put four on initially when I set up this tank. It was too much. So yeah, I went back to the 3. And I think they're going to work really well. We'll get onto filtration and things like that as we progress into the project. But for this one at the moment, I just want to get this part sorted. Now, I will also, like I say, I want to add a couple of feature rocks just so that they poke out through and break up some of the planting a little bit. Just for interest mainly. Oh, it's going to look so good. I can already see it. I can see the end result already.
Where are your Crocs?
Oh yeah, I forgot to put them on. I knew something didn't feel right. I'll put this one here, so we've got an anchor point as well. It just creates a nice little, so you've got a rock, and a nice big open space in the middle, and a couple over that side. Might need some more behind this long piece just to make sure it locks on. Last thing we want is any of this floating. Very important but boring stage now, making sure that we're gluing this wood to any of the rock where it touches. If it doesn't touch, make it touch. Now I'm going to use the method of tissue paper or paper towel or whatever, and liquid super glue. So it's cyanoacrylate super glue, which obviously it's toxic when it's working, but after that, it goes solid like a plastic, so there's no danger to any of the fish or shrimp or snails or any life that you want to put in there. You can even do it underwater as well, and it still isn't a problem because it instantly forms a casing around itself. So yeah, I'd rather do it now though than when there's water in it. I'm pretty sure all of this wood would float if I don't glue it down. So it's worth really taking time with this. Even we've had instances recently, been at the shop of a big 8-foot as well. We thought we used enough, but it was incredibly buoyant wood. Now this wood isn't too bad because it's not that sort of dense and it doesn't hold air in it that much. So after a few days, this would actually be fine. But that stuff it snapped off the glue points we did and just all of it floated. That will not be happening with this though. Let's get gluing. So this is the one that I use. It's very absorbent and works. Sometimes if I'm using it for finer detail stuff, it's actually 2-ply, so I like peel one bit off. But for sizes like this, it's going to need a lot of glue, and like you just basically roll it up into a ball, jam it in the gap, like make sure that it's actually jammed in and nice and tight, and then just flood it with the super glue. It's not the gel type though, it's the normal liquid type. It'll just soak into that. A little bit of pressure as well. I've also got a reactor that makes it work instantly. You don't have to have that, but I'm impatient. So I like it to be done straight away. Not that we're planting or anything today, but quite often I like move on to the next stage straight after. But in an ideal world, even with that, leave it 24 hours, come back the next day to it, and it should be completely solid by then. Everything is glued and stuck down. Like I say, I'm not winning any awards for hardscape, but that's not the kind of tank that I'm going for. I'm doing my favorite thing in my biggest aquarium ever, the ecosystem style. I absolutely love it. Now, usually what I would tend to do here now is get some scatter gravel. I'd get some scatter gravel and sort of build it out from here and bring it forwards and fade it. Actually, I want to do something a little bit different here. I want to have little pockets of it, like little rocky oases in and amongst all the plants. Now, the creeping plants, I'm going to use glossostigma and things like that. One of my favourite foreground plants is glossostigma, and that will eventually creep into it a little bit. I can't talk today. It's the sun.
Put your teeth back in.
Well, when I was a boy,
Back in my day.
So yeah, I think a nice area here of the gravel, and this is purely decorative now. It's just adding a little bit of interest to it, because I could just put none and just go full plants, but I just want to break it up a little bit. So under here,
Convenient.
under here I've got some Ryoshinga gravel, which I've actually also got in this pot, so that makes it easier. So look at that, quite like little flat pebbles. It just look like what you'd see in a river because everything's sort of worn down at angles and rounded. So, I mean, that will be enough for one patch maybe, so I will have to get it out and wash it, but that's fine. So I want a little patch here. Now this is gonna look, so I want a little patch here. Now this is gonna look a little bit weird to start with without the plants, but you have to trust the process, okay?
Okay.
I know people are gonna think, what is he doing? Because I've not done this before and I've not seen it done before either. Right, this bit's annoying me though. The rest is good. Just need to take off a little bit of that because it's kind of ruining the vibe. So we've got to a point now where we need to stop because next we'll be planting, but I'm still waiting for a big delivery, a big delivery. I've got hundreds of pots coming. I've got tons and tons of like in vitro, you know, like lab grown cups. All of my foreground plants, I love to use those. You get way more bang for your buck, super healthy, and they'll just cover all those areas. So I'm waiting for all that to be delivered. Should be here quite shortly. So make sure you're subbed and everything for the next video. In that video, we're gonna be planting everything, filling it up, letting it run for a little while as well, because I'm still undergoing treatment of the fish. So there's no rush for it, but it also gives me a chance in that video to show you like any complications you're gonna get in the first week or two. You're gonna get a diatom outbreak more than likely. Most tanks do get it. Probably 80% of the tanks are set up, but every now and again it doesn't, which is great. I don't know why. And if I knew that though, I mean, yeah, every tank's slightly different, but yeah, we need to show you how to get it clear, get it running really well. So yeah, that'll all be in the next episode. Make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff. See you later.